So you might be wondering, Sabine, how the hell are you gonna read 10 books within 4 weeks when you cannot even read 3 within a month? Good question. Well, good morning, guys. I have been attempting this freaking crochet project 5 times already. I've restarted the same freaking foundation chain. I made mistakes because this is my first time following a written out pattern, and I can definitely tell because of all of my retakes. It is time to update you guys on how my reading challenge is going so far, and I finished my first book! Also, my hair is a mess. That doesn't make it any better, but I just woke up, okay? So that's why I look like this. So, like I said, I just finished my first book. It is December 8th already, so I really need to make some haste and read more books, but I feel like that's gonna be totally okay. I'm reading so many different genres in this vlog. So, back to what I was saying, the first book that I finished is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. My bookmark is still here, but I just finished listening the audiobook yesterday, and boy oh boy was this a treat of a book. This is the third and final book in the Brown Sisters trilogy. Like, it's not a trilogy. You do not have to read book 1, 2, 3 in the right order. You can read them however you want to. They're companion novels, and in this one you follow Eve Brown, the youngest sister of the 3, and she basically at the start of this novel has a big fight with her parents over the fact that she cannot really hold on to a job. She has like all of these passions that go from A to Z, from left to right, whatever, and her parents are a little bit like, Eve, you gotta prove yourself. You have to move out. You cannot rely on us and our money anymore. Go find a job, go live your life for a bit. So obviously that makes a huge impact on Eve's well-being, but then she stumbles upon this super cute bed and breakfast in this really small town and they are looking for a chef. And she's like, I can do that. I can bake cupcakes, so I can definitely be a chef. And after a series of unfortunate incidences, she basically runs over her boss with her car. That's Jacob, our love interest. So now Jacob is in shambles and he needs help, so Eve is obviously getting hired, and it's just a really, really cute, fluffy romance. I do have to say the first half of the book really dragged for me a little bit. Dragged? I don't know why I said it like that. It just took a little while for me to get into it because it mainly, like the first 100 pages, just focuses on Eve getting to the B&B, her running Jacob over, them making like 25 jokes about it, and Jacob was definitely a love interest that I needed to warm up to because he is so direct and seems really, really grumpy. It's not a grumpy romance because Eve is all sunshine and rainbows. It's more so like rivals to lovers. Yeah, it says here, she's sunshine, he's serious, they're enemies for now. Obviously, it's a romance novel, so you know that they're gonna end up together. And I do have to say, out of the 3 books, this is not my favorite romance. I absolutely love Danny and Zafir. Like, I loved their chemistry so much. I was obsessed with that book. Chloe Brown is definitely my least favorite. So this would be on spot number 2. It was just highly enjoyable. Talia Hibbert can write the most steamy sex scenes. Like, she has a real talent for that. And I just love how she always incorporates a really good subject in it as well, which gives the book a lot more substance. And she talks about it in a really respectful way. So for instance, in this one, autism is a very much like talked about subject, and the characters in this book are autistic. I just love that about Talia Hibbert. So I really want to give her YA romance a go as well. I'll probably not love it as much as these ones because I do also love the spicy scenes, and I'm gonna guess that in her YA romance, it's not gonna be real spicy. But I listened to Eve Brown whilst crocheting. So now I want to read and pick up and listen to another romance to consume whilst doing my crochet. I have been super, super interested in this romance ever since I received it from Book of the Month, and that is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've heard so many good things about this one, and I believe Allison, I recently watched her reading BookTube's most popular books video, and she thought this book was worth the hype, so I'm trusting Allison's opinion. Trusting you, Allison. After a while Bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and cuddle with a baby goat, Alex Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause? Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her. You don't hear that very often. And as casual as they come, the complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis. And yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor, and every minute she spends with Daniel and the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's really important. Yet letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? It has always been marketed to me as like a small town romance, which I just absolutely adore. I love the small town vibes, like Book Lovers was chef's kiss. Let's crochet and read.
Hi guys, I'm at my parents' house, so it's a different scenery, but I have some reading updates for you guys because I have read over 100 pages yesterday in Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and I am loving it. This story until so far is like fluffy, cute, but it also has a lot of depth in it, which is like the way that I like to read my romances. So in the first 100 pages, we get to see how our two main characters, Daniel and Alexis, yes, how they have their little like meet cute. Basically, Alexis is kind of like stranded in her car and Daniel is gonna like tow her out. You really feel that super small town vibe where everyone knows each other, everyone helps each other out, and Alexis is kind of just like the city girl interrupting their day-to-day life and business. You really do notice their attraction, and just their whole vibe together is immaculate. It's very entertaining, whilst also getting to know a lot more depth about their character and what they are individually going through. So Alexis is basically kind of dealing with her ex-husband right now who cheated on her, and she's also struggling a lot with the pressure that her family puts on her as they are into this like surgeon dynasty situation. Like all of her relatives are really high ranking, well-known, famous surgeons, and she doesn't belong in that group, and it's giving her a lot of anxiety. As for Daniel, I feel like a lot more is going to be revealed about his character and what he has been dealing with. There's a lot more going on with his family as well, so I'm curious to get to know more about their family history. Whilst I was also here, I was thinking Heartstopper Volume 5 just came out and I'm gonna get my hands on it this weekend, but maybe, like, first of all, it would be good for the challenge because I fly through these graphic novels, but it would be nice to have a little recap of Volume 4 for the challenge, but also because I don't know where the story left off at Volume 4 and my memory needs to be refreshed. So, good excuse to go and pick up Heartstopper Volume 4. What could it be? I don't know what it is. A complete surprise.
So cute.
Yeah.
There's my roommate. She said she doesn't want to be in the video unless she has put on makeup. So we'll kind of respect her wishes. But I'm gonna start Heartstopper Volume 5. I am so excited to read this. I reread Volume 4 as you guys saw, and spoilers I guess for Volume 1 till 4, but that one really focused on Charlie and Nick kind of confessing their like love for each other, and Charlie going through a lot of mental health issues, which was very intense. But I just love how Alice Oseman kind of like shines a light on mental health like that. I have zero expectations of what's gonna happen in Volume 5, so I guess I need to read it in order to find it out. Let's go read Volume 5. Good evening. I have reading updates and they're good. You probably guessed it. I finished Heartstopper Volume 5. Ow, why am I so clumsy? I am up says. Like, Alice Oseman is just, I love this series so much. It just brings me so much joy and comfort. Just Nick and Charlie's characters are everything that I need in my life and more. Kind of unrelated, but I did start watching season 2 a couple weeks ago, but I never really continued on with it, and I'm just like, why? So now that I read volume 5, I'm like, Sabine, you're gonna finish watching it. It's just so darn cute, but when I like look at it kind of realistically, what happened in this book? Not much. Basically, the huge themes in this book are taking your relationship that one step further that you're kind of scared of, like physically speaking. And I feel like Alice Oseman did such a good job of shining the light on just breaking the taboo about talking about it, and also like opening up about this subject of sex with some of your friends, and just making sure that everyone is comfortable in the situation, but also acknowledging that it's kind of just like scary and a little bit awkward, but also a lot of fun, at least when you want to do it with the right person and they respect your boundaries and stuff like that. These characters are just so wholesome and good for each other that it's so nice to see that. Also, Nick is, I think, a year older than Charlie, and he's dealing with the struggles of figuring out where he wants to study next, and just his feelings of possibly leaving behind Charlie if he wants to go study at a further away university. These are all such common struggles that teenagers have to deal with, and I just love how Alice Oseman talks about it in her book. So for me, this was 100% a 5 out of 5 star read. Until so far, I've finished 3 books out of the 10, but like the real book that I'm currently reading, let me give you a little update on that. I have to grab it. Okay, so I'm also reading Part of Your World, and I am almost halfway through with this one as well. It's such a good audiobook. I think the last time when I updated you guys, I was like, I really hope that Daniel's character, like his backstory, will be kind of revealed, and like literally the page after I said that, we got to know a little bit more about Daniel's character, how he grew up, and kind of like the struggles that he has been dealing with. I love the dynamic of Daniel and Alexis. They are both denying that they probably want something a little bit more serious with one another because of everything that they're currently going through, but Daniel is such a respectful man. Like, the bar for man is literally so low. Like, when they're respectful to a woman, swoon. But still, facts, like Daniel is absolutely lovely to Alexis. I'm looking forward to reading more because I'm just already loving these two so much, and I have like more than half of the book to still get through. I'm just so excited to read more. Plus, I also started working on my front panel for my top, and I'm trying to learn how to do increases, but I'm failing a little bit. So I'm gonna start over, listen to my book, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I have a final next week. I am literally doing nothing for my school work right now, and it's gonna get to me this week. So I'll probably be a little bit MIA. Oops. I know.
That love actually is all around.
I'm finally feeling better. A little bit. Let's go to the Christmas market. I don't know what to expect, but I'm really excited. It is 2024. Happy New Year. Look who is in the background. Can I show them?
Hi guys.
That's my roommate. We are always chilling together, so that's why she's in the background. She's gonna be my, you're gonna have a cameo. Or how do you say that? You're my background player or whatever. Side character.
I'm the side character in my own room.
Yeah, in our own room. Okay, so it's been a couple of days after 2023 has ended, and how did the challenge go? I just know that she's like judging me in the background. We all could probably tell that I wouldn't read the 10 books within a month, but I did expect to do a little better than I did in the end. I do have a couple of good excuses. First of all, I got COVID, I think, which really knocked me down for a whole week, and I was like just doing my crochet and watching rom-coms and not really processing anything with my brain just because I couldn't. And then something happened in the family which wasn't so nice, so my concentration was just kind of all over the place. But let's give a little recap of what I did actually read in the month and what I was currently reading when 2023 ended. Okay, so let me have my Goodreads with me as well so I can like think again about which books I also started at the end of the year and which ones I'm actually currently reading. So Actor H.E. Brown, I would definitely say a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Highly enjoyed it. Then I read volume 4 and volume 5 of Heartstopper, which is just one of my favorite series ever. It's just so incredibly cute. 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. And I have become a Abby Jimenez girl right now. This is one of my new favorite romances. I don't know why, but reading a romance whilst crocheting as well is just so nice because you don't have to like pay attention all the time, so you can actually do your work as well. Abby Jimenez writes such lovely characters with a ton of depth, and there is not a lot of miscommunication between the characters, which is a very common trope in romance books, which I absolutely hate. Communication is key, so that was really quite refreshing in this book. And I think that if you're a fan of Talia Hibbert, Emily Henry, and you like your romances with just a little bit more substance and like psychological themes, really heavy stuff in it as well, I think you will absolutely love her work. And oh my gosh, I literally think that those were all the books that I read. At the end of the year, I also started listening to Truly Yours by Abby Jimenez, and let's just give a little bit of an update because I actually already finished listening to that book, just not within the year. I think I preferred Yours Truly even to this one. You have Alexis and Daniel in this book, and in Yours Truly you follow Brienne, who is Alexis's best friend, and her romance with her co-worker doctor is the absolute best. Brienne has just divorced or is like about to divorce her ex-husband. There's just a lot of themes such as like cheating involved as well, but then she has a deal with Jacob, who is also a doctor who works at her like hospital department, where she is gonna be his fake girlfriend. Obviously, we all know how this is gonna turn out, but I guess I really like the fake dating trope when it is like worked out properly. Abby Jimenez, what a talent. Their chemistry again is just so good, and now I just want to read everything Abby Jimenez, and I just saw on Goodreads as well that she's coming out with a new book, I think in April of 2024, so that's gonna maybe be my birthday gift to myself during that month. And then the other book that you saw me reading in this vlog is Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn. This is a nonfiction about love in all of its forms, I guess. I ended up reading up until page 69. No pun intended. I have been really liking just like listening to the audiobook and then just underlining parts that mean something to me, that I think I could learn something from. I am just looking forward to getting more into this book as well. It just feels like listening to an audiobook. So I wouldn't say that the challenge was successful, but again, like I said, what did we all expect? I do hope that in 2024, I will be able to calm down a little bit and just be able to sit down, relax, and read a book without like mentally punishing myself or just sitting down and enjoying me time. So we shall see how that goes this year. That's, I guess, all that I have to say about it. I hope that you enjoyed this video despite it being a grand failure. And I will see you guys soon with my best and worst reads of 2023. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Jannica?
Bye.
Bye.